that was an awesome session, despite me feeling incredibly unwell and under the weather today, full-blown cold. In fact, in the whole 7 years that we've been running success groups, actually not once have I had to deliver sessions through the middle, the peak, the worst part of the cold. So there you go, that's an experience for me. So I've got a headache and everything else. You don't need to know about this, you've had colds as well, haven't you? Because everyone's had bloody colds this year. Anyway, I'm gonna go home, have a proper little rest and chill out before coming back here and surviving and doing it all over again. However, I did want to share some stuff with you. And one of the things I should want to talk to you about today was the dinghy metaphor that I came up with on the spot. And it was a small business, and she's doing okay. I don't know, I think about 30, 40 grand, something like that. And but she's in this place where it's like ups and downs and ups and downs, and she's kind of feeling, you know, like a little bit seasick with these turbulent times in her business. And the metaphor actually was really interesting to share with her, which is this idea of a dinghy. When you're a small business or a small boat, every little wave kind of affects you, right? And you're up and down, up and down. That's what it's like to be in a small business. As your business grows and you start to get a bigger business or a bigger boat in the metaphor, it starts to be less affected by the individual waves. This makes sense. You'll still be at the mercy of the overall kind of maybe peaks and troughs, etc., that go on, but the individual waves that make up those trends start to impact you less and less. As your business starts to get more successful, your boat gets bigger, then again, right, less and less. Eventually, you know, these massive corporations and stuff, you know, they're like oil tankers or they're like big cruise ships, but they basically cruise past or through most of those little waves. Like they literally, the waves are there, they just go straight through them, completely unaffected. It's only the really huge, right, impacts or changes around them in the environment or the financial environment that really starts to impact them. So again, if you're a small business, it's okay. Like, this is normal to be on these turbulent. You want to grow, you want to get bigger. It starts to iron them out. You still have some highs and lows, but you'll be less affected by the individual waves. Right, I'm gonna head on home, have a chill out, but I'll check in with you in just a little bit. Okay, so I came back home, passed out almost literally immediately, and I've woken up a few hours later, and if anything, feel even worse than I did this morning. Anyway, I will soldier on, and hero.
He's soldiering on. He is a hero. He's literally delivering through a cold that killed me. I'm impressed. Well done, George.
Work hard. And I will share with you, whatever comes up, some stuff as we go through this evening. Have an awesome one. I'll check in with you in a little bit.
Eventually.
Okay, so we survived the evening, and despite my steady descent into greater levels of ill health, I did get through today's session. Actually still managed to deliver a very thought-provoking session. Today's session was really looking at self-esteem, its impact on our confidence, and how our confidence levels impacts on our performance, specifically around 3 key areas, which, if we do have low self-esteem, low self-confidence, can really limit our ability to grow our business. And they are sales, networking, and speaking, whether that's public speaking or maybe speaking on video or camera like this, for example. And we looked at really how to bolster, you know, our self-esteem levels to support greater levels of personal confidence. And obviously, therefore, we're able then to put ourselves out and perform at a higher level. So a lot of talk today about authenticity, honesty, about, you know, nurturing ourselves, etc. But what I thought I'd share with you, and that is this. One of the things I really ended the session on today was looking at one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is a sense of security, a sense of safety. Now, most people, they're trying to get that sense of safety in all the wrong ways, typically through control mechanisms. So trying to control themselves, control other people, control the outcomes, control. And I always say this, when you go into a controlling state, it doesn't mean to say you're not limiting fallout or you're not putting in some control mechanisms. When you become a controlling person, you're trying to control everything. Actually, you're playing into the fears and everything else. Because control is a mechanism of fear. The antidote actually to fear is this sense of safety and this security, it's trust, it's all those sorts of things. And one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is that sense of safety, that sense of security, and it comes from within you. Does this make sense? You create the environment that your unconscious is responding to with, whether it's fears or anxieties or whatever it might be. Yes, they may well be stimulated by external things, they may be triggered by external things, but it's all happening within you, and it's all happening inside your own mind, your own conscious, your own, you know, biology and chemistry, etc. And when we realize that actually the sense of security we're looking for is a sense of security in here, and not necessarily trying to create, you know, that safety in the external world, but a sense of safety in the internal world, then our unconscious can step back a little bit. It doesn't need to have the fears, the anxieties, the worries, the concerns. And of course, I'm not doing it justice because this was a whole session tonight and I'm trying to get this message across to you in just a few minutes. But basically, you want to cultivate a sense that you are safe. That doesn't mean that everything's going to go according to plan. It just means that even when things don't go according to plan, it's still okay. You're still safe. Does this make sense? I'm not saying you shouldn't try and control and limit some of the sort of damage limitation in life and in business, but the controlling nature that maybe some of us actually start to push out into the world. Now that extreme control we're trying to do, actually can hold the business back, hold us back, stop us from growing individually, but also it can, let's be honest, it can piss everyone else off around you as well. What you want is that sense of safety, that sense of security. And when you're trying to control every single factor in the outside world, what you're really trying to do is you're trying to create that sense of safety and security. But if you have a disposition where you don't feel safe, don't feel secure in yourself or in the world, all the control out, all the control in the world is never going to give you that sense, because it's in here. Does this make sense? So it's kind of stop trying to create the security and the safety in the external world and cultivate a sense of security and safety in the internal world. That's going to give you a much better chemistry and biology. It's going to give you much better emotional responses. It's going to get you to be able to perform better. It's going to give you a much better quality of experience of life. 4 minutes. Have I done it justice? I hope so. Have an awesome night. I'll check in with you tomorrow, hopefully feeling a lot better and maybe even looking a bit better. Thanks for being with me. I'll see you then.